Hello and welcome to News9 Facebook Live with me, Adarsh Pachedu, once again. Now, could the way we speak or how loud we speak and what language we speak matter when it comes to how much infection you could be giving out? Researchers at the RUDN University in Moscow in Russia feel so. Their study has indicated that the number of COVID-19 cases in any given country could be related to the use of aspirated consonants in the primary language of communication there. Now, according to the scientists, although the groups did not show statistically significant differences, the countries that essentially spoke the languages of the first group, that is, with more aspirated consonants, had more cases of COVID-19. Well, it is quite simple to say the least. You could just try keeping your hands very close to your mouth as you speak, and it could be any language. But some sounds you will realize when you put your hand very close to your mouth, they create a puff of air while others do not. And when it comes to the English language, the consonants such as P, T and K are aspirated in the sense that they appear at the start of the words, and when you enunciate words like phone, Twitter or quick, the sounds are essentially accompanied by exhalation. You could try putting your hand in front of your mouth and say the word phone, and you realize that there is a certain amount of exhalation. So what essentially happens is that creates a cloud of air, and in case if you are COVID infected, then that essentially is a cloud filled with virus, and which could go ahead and infect another person around this particular COVID infected individual. Now, to tell us more about how this could be playing a crucial role in the spread of the infection, we have with us Dr. Paramesh, who happens to be a pediatric pulmonologist, and he is also a visiting professor at the Indian Institute of Science right here, joining us live on the program. Many thanks, sir, for speaking to us. My first question, what are your thoughts on this new research linking our manner of speaking to the spread of infection? Isn't the volume also an important factor here?
Yeah, what you said, I do agree with you. Before I say that, while talking, you produce 100 droplets.
Correct.
While coughing, you generate 1,000 droplets. While sneezing, you produce over 1 lakh droplets. That's why people who are sneezing loudly, talking loudly, they are being called as a super spreaders. And also, as a matter of fact, it all depends on the molecule size. The droplets, it can be 1 micron to the 1,000 micron. Most of them within 3 feet only, they'll fall down. If the smaller molecules, they'll stay in the air for a longer period of time. If there is a closed enclosure, if it is wind blows, it can move around up to 100 miles, also they will move, as a matter of fact. That's a different story, as a matter of fact. But in our language, whatever the language, we'll ask the children having a speech problem, I ask them to tell, we check the voice muscle and check the tongue muscle, lip muscle, all these things, like kha, kha, gha, gha, nya. They are the one produces more sound, more emission, kha, kha, gha, gha, nya. And cha, cha, ja, ja, na, the tongue comes there is not much.
Okay.
Ta, ta, da, da, na, maybe little less than kha, kha, gha, gha, na, it's more.
Right.
Pa, pa, ba, ba, ma, it's only lip muscles. That's what we've been doing it. And also in social clubs, Sarvam Bharata Ratna Sarvam Vishweshwaraya, this particular social clubs, there he said, please have a social discipline, don't talk too loudly to disturb the people. This also we have to keep it in mind, in addition to spreading the droplets, and you have to care for the other people who come to utilize the social clubs.
Right.
It reminds me of Bharata Ratna Sarvam Vishweshwaraya.
Okay. Now, Doctor, very interesting results that this particular study has thrown up. You could tell us as to how these results from this particular study can be used to better combat the dreaded coronavirus. You could also elaborate on how we can really essentially make use of the study results.
Exactly. I think we ourselves, we have to build up the social discipline while we are keep a distance, as a matter of fact. Have a mask as usual. Respiratory etiquette, we have to follow it up. So while talking loudly, covering your mouth at your head, and also using the elbow while sneezing or coughing, using the handkerchief and strict hand washing. These are all the etiquettes we have to follow it up. Yes.
And when it comes to these, when it comes to any language for that matter, and even when it comes to varying volumes, don't you think a mask is again the most important element right there?
Definitely, there is no question about it. The vaccine, a mask is the best. Even if you give a vaccine, some people develop antibodies, some may not develop.
Yes.
People who don't develop antibodies, they are a small risk group. Mask is the best thing for them to getting the infection. We have to follow this strictly during this pandemic.
Right. Many thanks, Dr. Paramesh, for joining us and for shedding light on this new study coming in from Russia as to how the way you speak or the volume of your speech and even the mother tongue, even the language that you're speaking at home or anywhere in your surroundings could really matter when it comes to how much you could be spreading the coronavirus infection. Yes, as the doctor rightly pointed out, every word, speech in any different volume or even for that matter cough or a sneeze can really give out n number of droplets. So the need of the hour is to ensure that we are sporting a mask at all times, and yes, with or without mask, it's always advisable that you speak softly during these pandemic times. That essentially will ensure that in case if you are infected, there is not too much of that viral load that is getting out of your system. If you like the information and the facts that we've shared with you this evening, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to News 9 on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Many thanks for joining us.